Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to Noonday Meditation and Contemplative Prayer Power Hour. My name is Martin Coward, and we created this virtual sanctuary, if you will, back almost a year ago at the beginning of the pandemic as a safe place, as a refuge to come together to love and support each other through this pandemic. And I'm so glad we did, because it has been such a rock for me, and I hope for many of you who join me on a regular basis, or just join me from time to time. It's just been truly and I got a note from a friend the other day who said how much this has been, how much he appreciate this, and how much it's been how much the support they've gotten from this through this really difficult time. And so I'm grateful for that. That's the whole point. That's the reason why I do it, is that, hey, there's my friend Audrey Smalls. Audrey, is so nice to see you here today. I want to talk a little bit about the inspiring message we got from that remarkable woman, young Black woman, Amanda Gorman, her message. And I want to talk about it in two perspectives, because as a new day is coming, one of the things we are looking to create out of the ashes of what we've all come through are new economic systems and social structures that everyone can benefit. When we can shift our thinking away from the old toxic, ego-driven fear, not enough, scarcity mentality, to the truth of abundance. And that's what we were so inspired by her message. And we're going to read her poem in just a few minutes as the piece to reflect on. But before we do, I want to acknowledge how in real life, in real purpose, people say, you talk sometimes like out of your crazy about this world of abundance you talk about, when I only have this much money in my checking account. But the reality is that's the material plane. But I want to break down this abundance prosperity concept based on what she did. On what she did, Amanda gave out. It's why people are still talking about it. They will talk. That is probably the single most life-changing part of that day, was hearing that woman speak so beautifully, so elegantly, so lovely dressed, so colorful, so full of life, so beautiful. That beautifully, beautifully written and delivered poem. And this is where the money comes in. This is how we create wealth, by the way. And within hours, she has a book that hadn't even come out yet. It's not even scheduled to come out until next September. And it's already a bestseller on the Amazon bestseller list. So that is how capitalism in its golden light should work. Money becomes an expression of love, and it's not an old weapon of reward and punishment for doing a good job. That's an old mindset that comes from the thought that there's only so many resources and so much there. And this is so important, as we all need to let go of we all have it. We all have some leftover parts of ourselves that are still hold on to the not enoughs. Not enough money, not enough looks, and she showed us, yes, you at 22 years old, you got everything you need within you to create a fabulous life and make a contribution. And what a contribution she did. And she deserves to make a lot of money from that book and become wealthy, not just for herself, but so that she can continue to share her gifts with the world. So money becomes an expression of love and joy and happiness and prosperity. That is the world, not just for the few. If you look at the definition of capitalism, it has nothing to do with it's the ability to earn money privately by individuals every individual and corporations, which are just collections of individuals. So what it's asking us to do, and is to redefine how we relate to money and how we talk about money, and particularly how we within our because the capitalistic system, we've been living under so much shadow and so much darkness for so long that we've become to believe that capitalism itself is intrinsically bad. It's not. It's just that when you live in the shadow where we use power and influence and greed and all those things to hoard it, thinking there's not enough, scarcity, then it becomes something pretty ugly. But if we can look at money from a different angle, we can change our thinking from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Abundance mindset says that we know deep within us that we have everything we need. We're secure in our own sense of self, that we have all the resources we need within us and in the world that we can participate in, and we can bring our gifts so beautifully like she did at the inauguration. I'm just still basking in the afterglow of that delivery. So I want to read that today again, I did this last week, but I may read it even more times because I just think it's so beautiful. And as a matter of fact, if any of you, Audrey, if you or Mindy want to come on sometime and join me and read it, I'd love to have you. I would love to have other people come on and read. It can become a mantra. It is a new way of looking at the world. And I'm just basking in the beauty of this beautiful poem and the woman who wrote it and how she delivered it. It's such a dark moment in the history of our time. I mean, 2 weeks earlier, we had our Capitol attacked by a bunch of thugs. And it's just a new dawn, a new day. So let me read that today for us, if I can. And Mindy, there you go. Thank y'all so much for being here, Mindy and Audrey. I can't tell you how much it means to me that we get to meet here on every day, and be together and help each other through this. Because I know it means something to you, because it means something to me, and there's a reciprocity in that love. So I'm just so grateful for that. It makes me feel good. And so let's read this beautiful poem that Amanda Gorman, the nation's first ever youth poet laureate, read during the inauguration just last week. Okay. When day comes, and just sit back and relax. And I can't read it nearly as beautifully as she did, but I'm going to give it our very best shot. I promise. Okay. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. And yet the dawn is ours. Before we knew it, somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl, descended from slaves and raised by a single mother, can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge a union with a purpose. With a purpose. Gosh, it's just beautiful. To compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew. That even as we hurt, we hoped. That even as we tired, we tried. That we'll forever be tied together, victorious. Yes, thank you, Amanda. I'm doing my best to read her poem today. Thank you for joining us, Jay. Not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promise to glade, the hill we climb, if only we dare. It's because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It is the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption we feared at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. To while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain: if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left with. Every breath from my bronze pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge, battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade of flame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Wow. I'm not going to say another word. I'm just going to bring us directly into meditation on those inspiring words. And the invitation is for you to reflect on maybe one word or two as an anchor to take us more deeply within ourselves, so we can live up to this new truth. So let's raise our arms up in the air in celebration for life. Feel the pulsing life within our hands, within our fingers, within our toes, within our butt sitting in the chair, and ground yourself in. Sit up tall like a proud human being. Feel your way deep inside your body. And we're going to do some conscious breathing. We're going to start with 3 big breaths to really expand the interior regions of ourselves. Excuse me. Spaciousness. Let's create some spaciousness. We are spaciousness. That's why Jesus called it the kingdom of heaven, because he could look up and it was spacious. The heavens looked spacious. And that's the spirit. So let us embrace our own spaciousness. So take in a nice deep breath. Create some more space. And let it go. One more nice deep breath. Bring it in. Really expand the breath, the belly, the rib cage, and just let it go. One more time. Breathe in deep and let it go. And now allow the breath to return to a normal rhythm. And with intention, let go of all your thoughts and your beliefs and your opinions and your thinking. That's softening the mind, softening the forehead. Notice if there's any tension in the jaw. Relax the back of your tongue. Sometimes it helps as a technique to rest the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, just behind your teeth, and slightly open your mouth and breathe. Relaxing the breath, relaxing the tongue, relaxing the throat, relaxing the heart, relaxing the belly as we bring the breath deep within us. Find that anchor in your belly to breathe into, to allow the breath to hold us grounded in this human space. And allow yourself to become still. Oh my, it's beginning to snow outside. Allow ourselves to become very still and fall back into that emptiness, into that spaciousness within ourselves. Allow that bell to wake us up from any thinking so that we can become conscious and let them go. Just let them go without judgment, but with gratitude for that brilliant mind for creating the thought. But let them go, let them free, and fall back into the unconditional love within ourselves. There's that beautiful bell to wake us up from our thinking and remind us to let the thinking go from a place of love and gratitude for that brilliant mind of ours. And with gratitude, just let it go and gently fall back into the arms of the Divine Mother. Allow that bell, that beautiful bell, to wake us up from our thinking and thank that brilliant, beautiful mind of yours and ours for giving us the thoughts. And easily, gently let them go, surrender them to a deeper part of yourself, and gently fall back into the arms of the Divine Mother within. There's that final bell. Slowly and gently open your eyes and come back into this space together. If you feel inspired, share with us what you're feeling. I love Mindy's word spaciousness. That was sort of the word I focused on as well. So thank you. Yes, we all go. I love that rabbit holes. Yes, don't we all go down rabbit holes? Mind has a way of giving us a thought, and we think, "Oh, that's a great thought. I like that idea. Let's see if we can go with that." Down we go. And sometimes we come out on. Sometimes it's the bell that pulls me out. That's why I'm so grateful for that bell. Oh, I'm in a rabbit hole with this really intense thought that's just so important. And the invitation for anyone that hears this that would like to, either on the replay or I'm going to, I just think this poem is so beautiful that I would welcome anyone that wants to come on and join me any day and read the poem with us, be part of the show, be part of this. It's not just for me. Audrey, come on and read it with me one day. You're a wonderful speaker. I'd love to hear you read it. Why don't you come on one day this week and read it for us? Would love to have you. Just send me a text in my personal a direct message in my messenger, and we'll arrange a day. It's really easy. I just send you a link and you just join me. And I'd love to hear you or Audrey or Jay or anybody that's spoken that's let me know they're here. Okay, I'll send you the poem. I'll be happy to send you the poem. Will you read it? Will you come on and read it with me? Bring your spirit, bring your joy, bring your love, bring your oratory gifts of speaking to this poem. Would you do that? I'd love that. I would love that. Great. Good answer. I love yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Well, we'll talk offline about when, so we can. I don't want to put you on the spot here, but I'm going to take you up on your yes, because I want you to come. I would love that. That would be wonderful, Audrey, because you've got a beautiful presence and a big heart, and hearing you read that here would be a gift to all of us. So thank you for accepting my offer and my invitation, and anybody else too. I think we could have different people reading that poem now until the end of the year if we wanted to, because it's not going to get old. Beautiful words like that are just, the more they resonate with us, the more we hold them in our hearts, and the more we become familiar with them, we can begin to live into those words. And that's the beauty of poetry and music, is it transforms our lives. Those are transformative words, and they're powerful words, and they're words from the heart. And it's a beautiful message of hope. And it gives us an inspiration to begin to build a world, to walk our talk, to actually begin to do what we can do, bring our best selves into the world, to co-create, to collaborate, and build social structures and economic systems that are for the benefit of everyone. Bye, Mindy. Glad you're here. Enjoy the rest of your day. And always a joy to have you here. So thank you, everyone, for joining me today. May love and prosperity prevail. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you back here tomorrow at noon. Thank you for joining me.